Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the show. On today's show, I'm being joined by one of my friends. As you can see, I'm wearing the same outfit as from before, meaning it's also low dose from before. We're having one of them join us now to talk about something a bit more intellectual. So we're talking about relationship, we're talking about money and how that affects how we love right now as a society. And now maybe you begin to look at him from an angle of somebody that has plenty of intelligence in him, because it was by that quiz. Oh, I'm so sorry. Welcome back to the show. If you don't know me, my name is Maranatha. On this show, we talk about love. I'm joking. We talk about books, we talk about movies, we talk about society. So would you like to introduce yourself now as the person that is intellectual?
I'll introduce myself, but did you just say Olodo before calling me? Like, you said that there's an Olodo that is coming to the studio.
Now, I wanted you to redeem yourself when you come on the show.
She was expecting my steez and composure to
100%.
Me. Steez. You can never drop. Anyways, my name is Tunde Abdul. Razzboi, as everybody knows me. I'm a content creator. 3 artists and of course a businessman. The topic is a very interesting one.
Okay.
Yes, we want to discuss about love and money, right? Money. Is there anything at all you can do without money? That's my first question.
We'll get into that. I wanted to say before we get into the show proper that last year, I remember that I put out a topic about my generator catching fire and all of that. I was supposed to have that show with him. He had driven to the house and unfortunately, we had set up, like everything was ready to go. There was no power, so I turned on my generator. Somehow, we started to perceive that something was burning. We ran out of the building and guess what? It's my generator that is on fire. So I panicked. Right, I panicked at first.
You panicked. My soul literally left my body. My car key was in my pocket.
Yes, and this was the first time at my place. So like, and then he parked just like I'm not sure it's up to a meter away from the generator.
You know, the funny thing that happened that day was my car keys were in my pocket. Because my soul left my body.
He didn't remember where the key was.
That my keys were here and I started pushing the car. I don't know where the strength came from, but I pushed the car. I pushed it away from the fire. I brought out my extinguisher. All thanks to your neighbors, they all came out and helped. And
every time I think back to that incident, all I keep thinking about is I work remotely. So you guys already know that. And I think maybe that incident could have happened one way or another, because we found out later on there was my generator guy who mixed up a valve and you know what all of that. So that thing could have happened, but I'm so grateful that it happened on a public holiday, October 1st, which meant that a lot of my neighbors were around. I didn't have fire extinguisher,
and I was there too.
So by the time my brain kicked into action, I just ran and grabbed. See, there was a 60 liters of fuel directly underneath my meter box. So you can imagine I would have blown up somebody's house, blew up people's cars. And you could just hear say, I've been working for 35 years, but I'm working to repay debt. But anyway, I just wanted to say, glory be to God that
to God be the glory.
Nothing happened and he's fine. He said he was traumatized for some time.
I am still traumatized.
You are still traumatized?
Yes. Anytime I flash back.
So sorry.
Anytime I flash back and I remember how I pushed a car all alone. Like, I didn't know where the strength came from, but I was able to push the car. And we used our extinguisher. I haven't even replaced it. No.
Yeah. So, now, in this generation, I know that sometimes we say everywhere you turn, you're hearing about relationship. What's going on? Is that the only thing that is happening? And I think, again, we emphasize how much of a connection that we as humans need. Whether we like it or not, more than 80% of us crave to have somebody like companionship, even if it's not for sexual relationship or whatever. So I think the reason why you hear that almost everybody has a relationship problem is because we long to find a person to call our own. And so if you turn left, turn right, turn front, back is relationship. And I can't fault anybody for it, because at the bulk of our life, I feel like there's already a template. Go to school, come out, meet somebody, get married, have children, live your life. And so when that doesn't happen for you, it's almost like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? I've been dating this person, doesn't want to marry me. I've been dating this one, she only wants money. So please don't tell anybody when you hear that they always have a relationship problem. It's you too, you do. Maybe you have conditioned yourself to come to that stage where you are like, I really don't care about it. But every one of us, we want affection one way or another. So now my question to you, you asked a question before.
Yes.
What was the question?
About relationship?
Yes, you said something about, is there any...
Can you do anything without money? Is it possible for you to do anything at all without money?
I think so.
Okay. Apart from praying, what else do you think? Because I know that's what she's thinking. I know how you think. Because in her mind, she'll be like, yeah, I'll tell him that you can pray without money. Apart from praying.
You can pray without money.
Apart from praying.
You are breathing without money.
There are people in the hospital that are paying to
But right now, I am breathing without money.
You are breathing without money.
So glory be to God.
Glory be to God. I'm also breathing without money. All thanks to God. So, really, I'd say this.
My question to you.
Yes.
Hold on that thought. My question to you. Do you think that when you approach a person, as you are right now, do you think that they are saying yes to you is conditioned by what you can afford them?
It would be almost impossible to find somebody who would say yes to you based on your personality.
Why do you think that?
Because that's how the society operates now. That's how it operates. If you're not bringing anything to the table, they don't see any reason to be with you. What are you bringing to the table? It must not be too big, but you have to bring something.
A few weeks ago, one of my best friend's older sister, she called me and she said, oh, I was at a birthday party. So this conversation came about where it's almost like if you're a man and you don't have money, nobody is going to accept to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
So she wanted to know from my own perspective if young women in their late 20s, early 30s are all looking out for money much more than looking out for love. So, and I think it's a yes and no situation. In that there is nobody in that age who will actually looking to settle down with a person who has nothing. If you ask the person to date you and they said yes, would it cross your mind that it's because of what you earn or what you're doing right now? Would that ever cross your mind?
Yes, of course it will. It will cross my mind. We're in a society where people look at how much money you have, the designers you wear. They look at all of these things before they even look at your character as a person. That's why some people are stuck in a very toxic relationship, because they feel like, okay, this person is taking my bills, is taking care of me, so no problem, you know. So if a girl should accept me today, I'll feel like she's looking at, okay, this guy is okay, he can take care of me to an extent. That's why I would just be with him.
Another question: do you think that it says something about you if a person accepts to be with you only for your money?
I'm not sure I understand that question. Can you break it down a little bit?
Okay. What I mean is, maybe sometimes, do you believe in love at first sight? Let me start from there. It's like you meet a person and you're like, oh my God, I'm in love with this person.
I believe in lust at first sight. Lust, not love. Love, I don't think you can just love person at first sight.
Okay,
the person might look very nice and all, but
and put together and you're attracted to that.
Just,
fine.
Yeah, lust.
How long does it take you to get from meeting or lusting after a person, being friendly with the person, to actually asking the person out on a date? How long does that take you? Roughly, just a rough estimate.
Well, it depends.
On what?
If the person is a very friendly person, it paves way for you to like express yourself more easily. But if it's this really tense stuff, you know, so it will take time. You have to bring down those walls. You have to crack and find your way. So by average, it will take me like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before I can be like, okay, I think I can tell this person how I feel.
Okay, in that matter of 2 weeks or 3 weeks, do you think you've known the person enough to think, oh, there are these certain aspects of this person that I really like that makes me want to be with this person? Or do you think it's still the lust that you saw that is still playing out?
You can never know someone enough.
Right.
I've seen couples that have been together for 20 years, and at the end of the day, you find out these really terrible traits or character about them that, it might just, separate you guys. So you can never be too careful. Just pray you meet the right person. Just pray to meet the right person.
Okay. The reason I ask this question is because sometimes maybe we overlook when people say that women are materialistic. I was telling somebody last night that, when people say women are materialistic, it doesn't faze me. In short, I don't even get triggered by it because while I do believe that I am not materialistic, I know that there are people out there who are materialistic. The same thing when sometimes I say, men cheat. And some people will message me and say, oh, I don't cheat. I'm like, you don't need to fight. If you know yourself, you know like what you're capable of. And so sometimes because this complaint usually comes from men when they are like, oh, this woman only loves me for my money. Nobody can really find love anymore because women are now after what they can get from you or what you are bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I think, is it as a fault, is the fault solely on the women or on the men who are overlooking the fact that this person you're with, first week they've asked you for something, second week they've asked you for another thing, by the third week they're asking you to sort one heavy bill or the other. Don't you think these are signs that should tell you that, oh, maybe this person is not really who I should be with, or maybe my finance and this person are not compatible? Because now it's not you. Maybe you are compatible with this person, but your finance is not compatible.
It's not financing. Your finance is not financing.
And so that's why I said, do you think that sometimes we can bear a responsibility for the kind of people that we allow into our lives? Say, for instance, would you judge a guy who tries to date people and everybody keep bouncing him, and now he has come into money, and all of a sudden everybody's flocking around him? If this sort of person chooses to date like 3-4 women, do you think that's okay?
As a person, the first question you ask is not entirely anybody's fault. It's not the man's fault. It's not the woman's fault.
Right.
Just try to live within your means. If what you can afford is just 100,000 naira clothes, why are you admiring a 1 million naira wig? I mean,
that's why I said that's also part of your responsibility, because you can't see somebody that you think is living above your means and you want to join body. If you join body, the other person is going to say, oh, my business needs 1.5 million.
My question then is, why do you need it from him? Why can't you raise it? I mean, I wouldn't ask you for something I can't do for myself. Why?
And why are you going? Why do you have big eyes? Why are you looking at something that
you're seeing it as a big eye, and that's why some people are still single. All right, you take a lot of responsibility and give to somebody. Why are you asking for something you can't do for yourself?
I see what you mean.
I mean, you want to buy a wig of 1 million naira. Why don't you just buy it? Take your credit card, go to the store and get it. It's that simple. But you're asking a man to get it for you. If he has the money, fine. But if you know that he doesn't have, that will be putting a constraint on somebody. So if he has the money, fine, he should get it for you. I mean, naturally, if I like you, I would want to buy you stuff, right? But if I cannot afford it, I don't think that should cause a problem. Right. In the first place, you're looking at something that I cannot afford.
Right.
So that would eventually cause a problem.
Right.
The second question you asked, you said, do I think...
do you think that it's okay when, a person who has never been in a relationship because of his financial status, and now he don't blow, so naturally women are going to flock around him, right? Yeah. And so if this person chooses to date more than 3 people, do you think that's okay? Yes.
A society that tells you that you do not deserve to be in a relationship or be loved.
I knew you were going to say that.
A society that tells you that since you don't have money, you don't deserve happiness. When you have money, you give yourself happiness. It's that simple. But this discipline is very important here. If you know what you want and you are intentional and you are disciplined, you would just be very brutal in your vetting. You look for somebody that You don't have time to play. If this person is playing, get out. Until you find that person that matches what you want, and then you just channel all your effort, your resources, and everything to that person. I think that makes more sense. But there are people who cannot, they are not this disciplined. They feel like, okay, since nobody loved me when I had nothing, now that I have everything, everybody should love me. You know, some people are like that. But if you have enough discipline, and this is where spirituality comes in. If you are a very disciplined person spiritually, you would understand that you cannot be connecting with multiple partners now. You just need to find one person. I understand you are hurt, you are angry. People have made you feel less of a man. You know, they didn't let you, they didn't love you because you had nothing. Now that you have a lot, you can have a lot. You're hurt, you feel bad about it, but you just discipline yourself. Just discipline yourself. Just look for just one partner. Or maybe two, I don't know if you can.
Wow.
But one partner is actually okay.
By the way, so if you guys are thinking, maybe, I don't know, he's my friend, we've been friends for a very long time, but I don't know what his stand on polygamy is, but he's Muslim.
No,
so
my stand,
telling you,
before you go very far, my stand is simple. I'm not a polygamous person. I believe in just one man, one woman. Yeah? But there are people, my religion permits you to take more than that. But me, as a person, personal preference, just one wife. But with a lot of condition. Yes. I am very intentional and I choose you. Are you doing the same? Because I don't want a situation where I'll prioritize you and I'm an option to you. If I see that you are moving
in relationship or in marriage,
no, in relationship.
Okay.
In marriage, obviously your partner, your husband or your wife becomes
ideally.
But in relationship, the moment you move out, Omago moves out, you know, pass like that. If you are dating somebody, be intentional. Okay. If you're not intentional, the person too will not be intentional. At the end of the day, two of you will be confused. So just pick the person. You're going to meet people who are better looking. Right. You're going to meet people who have more money. Right. But just choose this person and stand with the person. Right. That's
like I would always say, love is as much a choice as it is as a feeling.
Yeah, it's more of a decision.
Yes. You can't say, oh, I feel. That means you're feeling for more than 20 people at the same time. But you choosing to be with one person says that you love them above all the others that you might be feeling for, you know. So my other question to you would be, take out money from a relationship. What do you think is the key that should bind people together? Take out money. Take out, oh, maybe we are not both financially okay. Yeah. What's that thing that is very, very important for a successful relationship?
Love. Love is very, very important. Money usually is the driving force.
Take it out.
No,
take out the money.
I know you said I should take out the money. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But for the purpose of emphasis, I want you to understand my angle. So I have to bring it back in. Money is usually the driving force.
What do you mean by driving force? Do you mean that nobody that doesn't have money is in love right now? Is that what you mean? What I mean by money, let me even rephrase that. Resources, is the driving force in every relationship. So I think that word money is confusing you. Resources. When a person has resources, he has a fine house, he has a fine car. Even it must not necessarily be fine. Exactly. It doesn't have to be fine.
I'm just saying, it must not necessarily be fine. But if a person has a house, he has a car, he has a job, he has a relationship is usually sweeter.
I feel like you're still slapping me with all these things you're saying.
And resources, I would say money, but just so you can understand. Resources, is the driving force. Okay. If you have access to resources, your relationship will be, at least, it will be healthy to an extent. It does not necessarily guarantee that your relationship will be healthy. But when you have resources, I think it's easier, and it's easier for you to, be in a relationship. Let me say, for example, if you don't have money, practicing your religion, it's not like you cannot practice it. But it's easier when you have money.
How do you mean?
Because when you have to, do you guys go to Jerusalem for pilgrimage? I think, is that right?
They do.
They do. If you have money, that's the only way you can travel, because you can't walk there.
Right.
So that's what I mean. You're practicing your religion.
You don't need to travel to Jerusalem.
You don't need to, but I think if you travel, it's one of the requirements in my own religion.
I was going to say that for us, it's not that way.
That if you have the means, it's not a must, but if you have the means, that you should travel to Hajj. So if you have money, I think it's easier for you to practice if you have money. It's easier. It's not like you cannot practice. You can practice, you can pray, you can do everything. But if you have money, it's easier for you to do a few other things. Let's say, for example, I want to feed people. If I have money, I can just buy a lot of food and share it. I want to buy book. I want to buy a book for students. I need money. I don't produce books. So I need money to buy that book and share it for people.
Right.
You want to help the needy in the street. You need money to do that. But even if you don't have money, there's a way you can help people. But it's easier when you have money. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Like, it's easier. If I see somebody on the street now and I want to help you, it's easier if I have money than for me to come and advise you. In these days, if you advise people, as much as you are giving them a good advice, they might not even listen to you. They may feel like you are talking too much. You know, if you advise poor man, if you know put small money, join. Carry small money, join. So that's what I'm saying. But let's not divert. Back to relationship. Without money, it's very, very difficult to maintain a healthy relationship in this society that we find ourselves. In the olden days,
is it because you think that the person with the bigger money will come and snatch your babe? I hate that I use the word snatch, but yeah, I feel maybe the better term would be your babe might leave. If somebody with, then that means the person in love, and that's why I ask again. Take out money. Take out money. Again, we all know money drives everything. Money drives the world, right? But take out money. If you cannot see a person for who they are without the money, then there's a problem. It's already a fundamental issue.
That was in the 90s. We're talking about this generation. Without money, you can't do anything. It is wrong on all levels, but that's the new norm. That's the new norm of the society.
But should that be accepted?
Well, to me, I would love to have a partner who loves me with or without money.
So how would you know that now? Because now you're saying it's difficult to find a person who would love you. So how do we now? Now I want to date. I don't know whether this man have money or not, and I want to date. Now you don't know whether I like money or not. What would help you know that this person I'm trying to date, or whether she like money or she don't like money? How can you judge? How can you tell?
Most people want to impress you by taking you to expensive places and all, but look at this park. Can you just video around? Look at this park.
It's beautiful, by the way.
It's a beautiful park. So, good. You can video the other side as well so that they can see, the audience can see. Good. So come back. Now, what is wrong in holding hands with someone you love and walking on this? See very dark man.
You're being very shifty.
See very dark man. I'm showing you someone.
Please answer the question.
So, thing is, what was the question again? Sorry, I got distracted. See very dark man. Just flip the camera to the other side.
Do you want to meet him? Just to do a meet and greet?
It will be really nice.
Okay.
In the midst of our podcast,
we can
just say hi to very dark man.
Please video him for the sake of
very dark man. Welcome. So we're doing a podcast and then very dark man just passed. Sorry.
And he seems very starstruck. You know?
No, I just like somebody who fights for people.
He seems very starstruck. But okay, cool.
Alright, so.
If I got the question I asked him, that
I actually did forget the question. I was talking about walking before very dark man passed. I was talking about walking in a park, and she didn't let me finish that part. What I meant is, if you have a partner that you can hold hands, you guys can just have this. You can have your date here. It might not necessarily be a super expensive restaurant or something. You guys can hold hands. Just take a walk in the park, and if they have a problem with that, you can just let them go, because a person who cannot stay with you when you are
in the simple things,
in the simplest things, like just take a walk, eat popcorn. There's nothing wrong in buying soda, something simple. You guys sit here, just play, laugh, giggle. So if the person they can't cope with this kind of,
you already know there's a problem.
You already know there's a problem, because if you don't have the money, keep the money aside, like you said. You have money, you're a millionaire, keep it at home. You guys should wear shorts, wear singlets, or simple t-shirts. Walk to this park, hold hands, giggle, play, walk around, spend time in nature. Some people find it very, very, there's no problem. Some people find it very, very offensive. They'll be like, are you saying that I'm a cheap person? Why are you taking me to a cheap place like that? That's where you find out that you can't walk with this person.